Welcome to this explainer. Listen, with over 20 lakh students fighting for a tiny handful of medical seats every single year, preparing for NEET can feel, well, absolutely overwhelming. There's just so much noise, an intense amount of pressure, and an endless sea of advice out there. But today, we're going to cut right through all that noise. We are building a highly practical, actionable blueprint for conquering this massive exam by studying smart, not just hard.
So let's just dive right in and bust the absolute biggest myth right away. Is studying 12 hours a day actually enough to crack NEET? I mean, people love to brag about grinding at their desks for half the day, but does that actually guarantee you a top medical seat? The short answer is not really.
It's literally the difference between an exhausted student buried under a mountain of books and one who's riding a clear upward trajectory. Effectiveness is always going to beat duration. Think about it. Hard work is grinding for 12 hours with zero plan and terrible retention. Smart work, on the other hand, is just 6 focused hours, but it's layered with regular revision and high retention. NEET doesn't just test your raw memory capacity, it heavily rewards consistency, deep conceptual understanding, and highly strategic practice.
Here is our game plan for today's explainer. First, studying smart, not hard. Second, decoding the 3 subjects. Third, building a revision and testing engine. Fourth, managing your time and distractions. And finally, choosing discipline over motivation. Let's get right into it.
Part 2. Decoding the 3 subjects with custom tactics for physics, chemistry, and biology.
Let's kick things off with biology. This carries the highest weight, making it your absolute ultimate priority. Mastering it means starting right with your core school textbooks. But here's the crucial point. You cannot just memorize facts. The exam questions are famous for being twisted and tricky, so you have to understand exactly why every biological process happens. Once you lay down that deep conceptual foundation, then you can go ahead and solve MCQs, revise those complex diagrams, and carefully review your incorrect answers to close any knowledge gaps.
Now, let's demystify physics. Physics completely terrifies a lot of students because they try to blindly memorize formulas without actually understanding the underlying concepts. Instead, you've got to follow a simple 4-step process to build real problem-solving skills. Step 1. Study the theory first. Step 2. Build up your confidence by solving the easy questions. Step 3. Tackle the moderate and difficult questions. And Step 4, which is absolutely critical, whenever you make a mistake, log it immediately in a dedicated Arrow notebook.
And then we have chemistry sitting perfectly in the middle by blending concepts with memorization. For physical chemistry, you absolutely must drill the numericals. Organic chemistry, that requires understanding the actual puzzle of reaction mechanisms, not just blindly memorizing every single reaction. And inorganic chemistry relies on constant, repetitive reading. If you create targeted short notes with formulas and facts for all 3 of these branches, it's going to be your absolute best friend for rapid, effective recall.
Which brings us to Part 3. The revision and testing engine, or how to actually turn all that information into permanent retention.
You've really got to think of your brain like a muscle. If you don't flex that mental muscle and actively revisit the complex information you just learned, it's going to atrophy, and you will naturally forget it. Learning something once is simply not enough for an exam of this magnitude. In fact, consistent revision is often far more important than learning something completely new. To combat what scientists call the Ebbinghaus forgetting curve, a spaced repetition timeline is a total game changer. It's a scientifically proven pattern that locks difficult concepts into your long-term memory. You revise the material on day 1, the exact same day you learned it. You revise it again after week 1, and you revise it one more time after month 1. Sticking to this timeline permanently locks that knowledge in.
And when you're testing that retention with early mock tests, you've really got to bring out the magnifying glass. Don't just stare at a final score and move on. Identify exactly why your mistakes were made. Spot the specific questions that drained way too much of your time, and pinpoint the chapters that need urgent revision. Deep analysis is where your score actually improves.
Moving right into Part 4, managing time and distractions to ruthlessly protect your focus. Setting up a highly effective daily schedule shifts your entire mindset from endlessly counting study hours to checking off focused, productive blocks. Your morning is for biology, afternoon is for physics, evening is for chemistry, and the night is dedicated entirely to revision. Studying with full, intense concentration in these dedicated blocks is exponentially more powerful than vaguely sitting at your desk all day long.
And you have to protect those study blocks fiercely. A quick 5-minute check on social media can easily steal half an hour of your focus before you even blink. Put a shield up against your phone while you're studying. Instead, invest that time right back into your health.
Proper sleep, healthy food, and just taking a short daily walk yield a massive return on investment, drastically improving your memory and problem-solving abilities. Don't sacrifice your sleep for more study time. It'll completely backfire on you.
And finally, Part 5, Discipline over Motivation, which is all about winning the mental game. Let's take a hard look at some really common pitfalls. Have you ever bought 10 different heavy reference books, knowing deep down you'll probably only ever open one of them? Or maybe you skip your mock tests entirely out of pure fear. Avoiding psychological traps like comparing yourself to others or ignoring your weakest subjects is honestly just as important as studying the right material. Because here is a hard truth. Nobody, and I mean nobody, stays motivated every single day. It's completely normal to wake up and feel absolutely zero drive to study. The most successful students acknowledge this fact right away. They don't rely on fleeting motivation, they rely on unshakable discipline to sit down and complete their daily work, regardless of how they are feeling in that moment.
I absolutely love this quote because it completely crushes the anxiety of comparison. Your competition isn't the topper on social media. Your competition is the version of yourself from yesterday. Stop looking left and right at what everyone else is doing. Just focus on being slightly better, slightly more knowledgeable, and slightly more disciplined than you were the day before.
Because ultimately, consistency beats intensity. You are laying this foundation brick by solid brick. You don't have to finish everything in one giant, exhausting push. Every single chapter you complete, every error you log, and every mock test you bravely analyze builds directly toward that medical college seat. It's the small, repeated, daily efforts that construct a massive victory. So don't let the massive syllabus paralyze you. Just ask yourself, what is your specific target for today? Think about it. If the exam were literally tomorrow, would your current study habits hold up, or would they crumble under the pressure? The blueprint for smart, effective preparation is right here. How you build with it, starting right now, is completely up to you.